This is specifically for the people of Pugwash that I am presenting this video this morning, and it is the direct result of a meeting I participated in on Monday night. It was a Zoom meeting of Region 15, and there were 134 of us who attended, and we were led through what we might have to consider, well, not what we might have to consider, what we actually have to consider when we decide, or should we decide, to open our church for worship gatherings. They use the word relaunching because, of course, they pointed out the church has never stopped functioning. We've just changed one aspect of our life as a community of faith. And we are now returning possibly to our worship place, and with that return, there are a good many things we have to consider. First of all, it's a decision made by the local community of faith's board or session whether or not when we return. The suggestion from the people who led the meeting was that we wait until September. Although we could go now if it was determined by those of you who are watching that you would prefer to do that. But I think with the situation that currently we are in, and that is the opening up of our many cultures of our society, that we possibly wait until September. First of all, we have to come up with a plan. The plan must be written down, must be posted on the church, must be known and distributed among the congregation, and it's to include what we have to do should we gather, should those who are using our church gather, and we have to consider what we will do if should it be the time for fundraising, and so on, and that kind of thing. Undoubtedly, we have to be definitely sure that we physically distance ourselves 6 feet from each person. Again, our size is only 10. You can have 10 people inside or out. Outside was also suggested as a possibility, but we still have to distance. And we must minimize what we touch and what we do, in the sense that once we are finished the meeting, we have to scrub the place down that we have used, the tables and the chairs and so on. Avoid touching as much as possible any other parts. Whatever it is that we do when we meet must be cleaned afterwards. We're encouraged to have disinfectant available, paper towels, and we are also suggested that we stay home or away from others if we are experiencing even one of the symptoms that are attached to the virus. And we should expect interruptions. We may be able to gather in the fall, and then suddenly, because of the opening up of all the businesses and so on, there may be an increase in the number of people that contact the virus, so we should expect to slow down or possibly even return to the status quo as of now. So the first task of our session then will be to meet and decide when we will gather. It was suggested at the meeting that we wait until the fall, which was the word they used, indicating possibly September before we gather, if we do gather at that time. However, as I've said, the decision is to be made by session. And we are to post, as I've said also, the plan that we have prepared so that everybody becomes familiar with it. Those people who use our church facilities, and with our case, it's the AA group, it's the crib group, and the men's club. We are limited to 10 people, but each of those groups, if they should return and fill that requirement of 10 people or less, they must clean down what they've done or the area they've used after they're finished. It's to be done after each gathering, after each event, total cleaning of the area in which we have been gathered. Washrooms are also to be cleaned down. You are to post hand washing instructions in the washroom area. We are to wipe down from the general area any buttons or anything like that, any doorknobs, switches, and so on, chairs, tables that we have come in contact with. And we are to supply gloves and masks. As far as pastoral care is concerned, that is in-person meetings and gatherings with members of the congregation. We are encouraged not to do that unless it is an absolute necessity. And that can be determined between the person who wants the visit and the clergy person that they will be calling upon should they want one to visit them. We are to minimize contacts if we do go to an in-person meet with somebody at their home or in their hospital or whatever, but it is something that we do only under absolute necessity. I've already had one such occasion within the last couple of weeks, and it went very well, in fact, but it was nice to get to see the individual. I miss not having contact directly with you all, and partly for the last 2 weeks I've been in sort of a slump because of that the time frame that we've had and the time that we've been apart from each other. I've called on a regular basis. I hope that was a regular basis. I've called many individuals who are from the congregation, and those who I've discovered on Sundays watch the video of the service. I've also called some of them. And now I'm asking you, after watching this video, your thoughts and your questions. You can always call at the office, 243-2621, or you can email me or message me through Facebook. But your thoughts and your concerns are particularly necessary as we determine a time frame in which we will do what it is we need to do. I hope I've made myself a little bit clearer this morning about what we can expect, what is expected of us, and what we are asked to do when we do return to gathering on Sundays for worship.